Recall with REna.
I'm going
I'm
to go to bed.
today. Okay, please everyone mute yourselves because I hear background noise. I'm sorry. Now that you can hear me, I want everyone else to be quiet. Please mute yourselves. We don't hear you. Thank you. Okay. Today we are going to be talking about recall with REna, how to remember important things. So those of you that have heard me before have heard me talk about how to encode the memories properly in the first place. But now we're going to talk about how to recall them. Today's not about encoding it or getting it in there properly. Today we're talking about recall. So people always say to me, REna, I can't recall that word, that name of that person I just met. How do I recall? And I wanted to do this webinar today because it's going to be super helpful to you if you're having trouble recalling a word, a name, or past information. Meaning it's different when you're trying to encode a memory and then properly, or recalling it from the past. So people say, but I know her name, but I can't recall it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So thank you for being here. Welcome. I apologize for that technical problem that I've never had before. And we are going to move forward with amazing techniques to help you today with recall. And here's the agenda. Whoopsie. Let's go back one. How do we go back? Using the arrows. Okay. The agenda for we're going to talk about the first thing to do when you can't recall, 3 more techniques. Then I'm going to talk about remembership and tell you all about what remembership is. Then we're going to talk about memory triggers and then how to dig up old memories, and then raffles. We have some 2 exciting prizes that I'm raffling off at the end of this call. So make sure you stay on. I will be telling you as we go along how you can win those prizes. I'll tell you right now what the prizes are. One is a free memory assessment, which is worth $150 with me. It's a private memory assessment worth $150. And the second prize is a free memory coaching session, a private memory coaching session to talk about your memory issues and do brain exercises with me, also worth $150. Okay, stay tuned, listen carefully how you're going to be able to get a chance to win those prizes. Okay, please mute yourselves. I'm hearing background noise. Please mute yourselves. Okay, that's the agenda. Let's go. What is the very first thing you do when you can't recall?
Right now she started.
Please mute yourselves. I'm hearing people in the background and I can't mute you because I'm not in the control seat right now. Actually, you can go on there and mute it. Go to participants and press recall, except for me. At the bottom or the top? Should say at the bottom of the top, mute all. Now go into participants. Are you in participants? Yeah, it doesn't say mute all. Whose account is that? Is that my account? Okay. Why is the breathe like that? That's not the way it's supposed to be. Okay. The very first thing you do when you can't recall is take a deep breath. Because what happens? You panic, right? I go, oh my gosh, what's her name? I should know her name. What's wrong with me? I'm getting dementia. I'm too old to remember this. But instead, we're going, your brain needs oxygen in order to recall. Now, I wouldn't have thought this is such a brilliant technique, except for the fact that when I taught this in Beitar, I taught my course in Beitar to a lovely group of women. Some of them are actually on here today. And I told them this. The first thing you do when you can't recall is take a deep breath and then take another deep breath. Please mute yourselves. I'm hearing background noise. Please mute yourselves. Okay. So when I taught this in Beitar, and one of the ladies came back the next week and said to me, you know what, it really worked. And I said, what really worked? And they said, the breathing really worked. I said, really? Tell me what? And she said, I was walking with my 19-year-old grandson, and we were trying to remember the name of a neighbor. Neither of us could remember it. And then all of a sudden, took a deep breath, and it came to me. And I remembered the name of that neighbor before my 19-year-old grandson. She was tickled pink. She was so excited that she could remember the name of that grandson, of that neighbor before her grandson. So she said to me, it really works. Why does it work? It works because our brain needs oxygen. So this is not rocket science, but sometimes we forget to breathe. We forget. The breathing makes us feel centered. It makes us be able to concentrate and focus on what we're doing. So this is the very first thing when you go, oh my gosh, I can't remember something. one breath, another one. And then you say to yourself, it's going to come to me. And you just feel centered and calm that it's going to come to you. It might take a minute, it might take an hour, it might take more, but it's going to come to you. So that is the very first thing that you do. Now, 3 more techniques. Search your memory bank for contextual cues. What does that mean? It means you're going to check your memory bank for anything that could possibly help you remember what you're trying to remember. Any contextual cues, surrounding cues, where you were, what you were eating, who you were with. Wait, can you stay here? You're checking any contextual cues. So for example, let's say I'm trying to remember who I sat with at the wedding last week. I want you to go into this and just check. I want you to go into the screen, my Facebook group, and just see if anyone's trying to get in and see how many people are on Facebook. Thank you. Oh, am I sharing from there? Oh, so am I sharing from there? I'm not, okay. No, I'm sharing from here. Okay. Sorry, I have technical help here. That's really doing an amazing job. Thank you, Tehila. So search your memory bank. So if I'm sitting at a wedding, I'm at a wedding last week and I met someone. And now it's a week later and I'm trying to remember what her name was. What was the name of the lady? Do Facebook. So what was the name of the lady that I was sitting with? And I can't remember her name. So what am I going to do? I'm going to search my memory bank for any contextual clues. I'm going to literally close my eyes and picture myself sitting at the wedding next to her. I'm going to imagine what I'm wearing. And I can remember what I'm wearing. I'm going to imagine what she was wearing. I remember what we're talking about, what we're eating. I'm searching my memory bank for all the contextual cues and clues that are going to help me remember the name of that lady. It could also help to go back to where the memory was acquired, which I can't do if it's like in a different city, right? But if it's in your house where that memory was acquired, you can go back to that room and actually, yeah, just do approve. Approve that. So I'm imagining, what was I wearing? What was I talking to her about? What food were we eating? Whose wedding was it? What did everyone look like? And you know what? Doing all that actually makes the memory come back. It triggers the memory to come back to me. Now, that's number 1, is search your memory bank for any contextual cues or clues that are going to bring the memory back to you. Number 2 is alphabet search. Alphabet search is A, B, C, D, Devora. Okay. You could also do a syllable search. How many syllables? Oh, I remember it was a long name. What was her name? Oh, it was Devora. It was 3 syllables. So alphabet search or search for the amount of syllables. Okay. So review in advance. Now this is a good one. This is a cool trick. If you know you're going somewhere where you're going to have to remember something that you're not sure you know or that you're going to remember, review in advance. What does that mean? Let's say I'm going to a class reunion, from high school. That was a long time ago. I might not remember everyone's names from there. So what do? And I'm scared. I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to remember everyone's name. I'm going to be embarrassed. So what do? I take out my old yearbook and I look through the pictures and the names to remind myself. I'm cueing myself. So when I get there, it's like, oh, I know who you are. Well, I don't have to tell her this, but I know who she is because I just saw her name and face in the yearbook, right? Or another one is, a lot of people here have a lot of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And maybe you don't remember all the names. Maybe you're going to a Hanukkah party in a few weeks and you're scared you're not going to remember the names of all the grandchildren or great-grandchildren. So instead of being fearful, here's a great technique to allay that fear. Make a list beforehand of all the people that are going to be there and review it. And in your mind's eye, picture each kid. Sarah looks like that. Bachul looks like that. Tehila is that cute one with the curly hair. If you need to, look at pictures. So that way, when you get there, you're like, oh, that's the one with curly hair. That's Tina. Well, that's the one who, is just had a 5-year-old birthday. So you're reviewing in advance because you know you're going to be in a situation where your recall is going to be tested. And this really helps because you're making it that your memory is going to work better. You're triggering and cueing your memory to work, in the future. Okay, so those 3 techniques are search your memory bank for anything that, any contextual cues or clues that could possibly help you. That could include going back to the place where the memory was acquired and any related facts. There's the alphabet search, the syllable search, and the reviewing in advance. And the first technique was breathing. So we have 4 techniques now. Now, these are not magic pills. If there was a magic pill, I would hand it to all of you. I would give it to you and say, here's the magic pill for recall. There's no one magic pill. And it also depends on how stressed we are. If we're like really stressed, we all know that situation where like we're rushing or we're focusing on too many things, or it's, you know, right before Shabbos and we're stressed out. In those situations, we are not going to be able to recall as easily what we want, okay? So just know for yourself that in those situations, do not expect yourself to recall things like this, but that's especially where the breathing helps, right? Because when we're stressed, we need those deep breaths to clear our brain and get oxygen to the brain so that we can recall what we want. Okay. The next part, now we're moving on to, the next slide is, by the way, you can take notes. I'm sorry, I forgot to say this because of the technical difficulties in the beginning. Get a pen and paper if you don't have one, because you're going to need a pen and paper. We're doing more techniques after I tell you about remembership, so stay on. I have a lot more techniques. We're going to talk about memory triggers and really fun stuff. I want to tell you a little bit about remembership because everything I'm saying now is in remembership plus a lot more. Remembership is my 3-month membership program. And the reason I'm talking about it now is because it's on a Black Friday sale. Black Friday is next Friday. The sale is going to be going on from now till the Monday after, which is November 29th. November 29th, the price goes back up to $77. Now $53. What do you get? You get every week a short video from me. It's a pre-recorded video. You can watch it whenever you want. That's really convenient. It's a short video. It's 6, 8, 9 minutes. They're all between 6 and 10 minutes. Videos on the 10 healthy foods to eat. This is the link to show you everything is renayudkowski.com/remembership. I would like to put that in the chat. And I also would like to pull that up so we can, sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna pull up this page so that we can show you. I have to stop sharing though, right? I know, do I have to stop sharing? I can chat. I am putting this link in the chat, www.renayudkowski.com/remembership. Okay, and enter. And then I'm going to click on that and it's going to take us there, right? Should. It's what? Why isn't it showing up as a link? renayudkowski.com membership it is, but can you just open another window here? I want to show me that page. I want to go to renayudkowski.com membership. Sorry guys, I'm not used to being on a laptop. I never use a laptop. I have to stop the share. I just go here and let's open up another. I want to share. Yeah, I'm going to open up a new. Just open up a new tab and I'm going to type in Rena Yudkowski. Sorry, this was all prepared on my computer, which is not working. And am I sharing now? Huh?
Yeah, you're sharing.
1 second, where's membership? It's coming up. Okay. This is the link. This is the page with all the information about membership. Getting older does not equal losing your memory. And I created this program because it's super flexible. You can watch the, how do I go down? Okay, go ahead, go down to where it, okay, what you'll get here. Just go to what you'll get. Thank you. Okay, it is 12 training videos. So if you join today, you immediately get access to video 1 and brain exercise 1. And so every week you get a video. I'll show you what the videos are about in a second, and a brain exercise, and 7 days later you get a video and another brain exercise. You watch them whenever you want. You have lifetime access to all those videos and all those brain exercises. And there's a WhatsApp group where you can put questions if you have any questions about any of the videos. And there's a monthly live group coaching call, which means this is the live component. So the videos are all pre-recorded. You watch them when you want, but once a month, you get to hop on with me and all the other members at a certain time, and we talk about the videos, we talk about the exercises, we do more brain exercises. It's a chance to ask questions live and get to meet the other members, and it's super, super fun. Could you please mute that? Mute that, mute that. Thank you. Go down, scroll down. I don't know how to work this laptop. Okay, keep going up, go. Okay, so this is usually $77 a month. It is now on, go up. It's now on sale for $53 a month. That's till November 29th because of Black Friday. And wait, no, go up. I want to tell you the testimonials. Wait, right there. Here's a testimonial. I didn't make this up. This is from Gilda. She wrote, the most important thing for me was how empowering it was. I realized I do have the power. I don't have to give up the techniques. It really helped me. Go to the next testimonial, please. This is a real one. Every time I say, where are the keys? Now I know what to do to make sure that I can find them. It has been very helpful. I asked, what would REna do? And I feel calm. So another one, in general, I feel like calm is pervading on the subject of awareness, focus, memory, and task overall. And I thank you for this. These are real testimonials from my members who have done Remembership. I launched Remembership a year ago. It was super successful. I want to show you what's in the, no, go up there. I want to show you what's in the videos. The videos, each video is a different topic. Go up. Yeah. What you'll learn about brain stimulating exercise. Those are exercises that you actually do. Focusing techniques. A lot of you on here might have seen my webinars about the T's, the TEAF. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? The 4 techniques for focus. I talk about the recall techniques. A lot of that we're doing today. The 10 brain healthy foods, the basics of how memory works, internal strategies, external memory aids, and normal versus abnormal memory loss. So there's a lot of good information on here, but it's like bite size. You can process it easily. You don't have to spend an hour and a half with me on a Zoom lecture, which is also fun. Don't get me wrong. I love teaching my courses. But Remembership is very flexible, very cheap, not a lot of time. So you're looking at less than 10 minutes of watching a video a week, and between, I would say, 5 and 10 minutes of doing the brain exercise a week. But people say it really, really helps them. So it is super flexible. It is not refundable because once I give you access for a lifetime, so I can't refund that. It is not for, I do not teach the techniques for names, numbers, and lists of items because that I have to do live with you. I practice that out in my course, and that's super fun, but that's not a Remembership. But in these boxes on the screen is what is in Remembership. Now, technically, you have until November 29th to buy this at this price, and then it's going back up to $77 a month. However, listen carefully. If you buy today on this call, which means in the next half hour, you get put into a raffle to win a free memory coaching session with me. That's worth $150. Now, some of you have heard about membership before. Some of you might say, this sounds amazing. I'm ready to buy. How could you buy if you want to buy? I'm going to give you the link right now. First of all, you can go to this page, and as you scroll down this page, there are big buttons that say, I'm ready to improve my memory. Let me show you one of those buttons. That takes you to the purchase page. So the link to this is in the chat. See, it says, yes, I'm ready to improve my memory. You click on that, that will take you to a page to pay. You put in your name, your credit card, say whether you want to pay in shekels or dollars, and voila, you'll get an email saying that you have access to Remembership. Is there any way we can get the link? I do, the other link though, but I need it from, so, no, I think for now we're just gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna even try, because I would have to copy and paste it. It's too hard to figure out how to do it. Okay, yeah, so that's how you do it. If you're ready to buy Remembership now, it is a 3-month membership. You get a weekly video and a brain exercise, all varied fun. Some of them are harder, some of them are easier. People love them. They're very challenging. And then we hop on those monthly group coaching calls where you get to ask me questions and meet the other members, and we do more brain exercises. And the whole thing is really fun, but it's just amazing program because it has that component where you do it when it's convenient for you, and then the live piece where you hop on with me on the live coaching calls. Okay. Now, I want to stop sharing this page. You can go look at that page whenever you want. If you're ready to buy, click on yes, I'm ready to improve my memory. That takes you straight to a payment page, put in your credit card information, and you have from now till for another 20 minutes, whoever buys while on this call is gonna get put into a raffle. At the very end of this, we're gonna pick a raffle. One of those people who buys today is gonna get a free memory coaching private session with me worth $150. Let me just do the math here for you. $53 times 3 is $159. You're gonna buy a $159 membership program and get $150 worth coaching call with me if you win that. So I would say that pays. Not everyone's getting it, just whoever wins that raffle, but you have the chance to win the raffle if you buy now. Now, I know I'm asking you to multitask, and I know that's hard. The link didn't work. Okay, 1 second. It's renayudkowski.com/remembership. Let's put it again. I'm going to put it in again. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to type it in again. renayudkowski.com/membership. Okay. Now, does it work? Not showing up as a link. So you know, copy and paste it. Copy it and paste it into your browser. I'm sorry, it should show up as a link. I don't know why it's not. Tech is great when it works, right? So all you do is you copy and paste it into a browser. And then you can, okay. In the meantime, if there are any questions about our membership, I'm happy to take them at any point in this call. I'm leaving time for questions at the end as well. Okay, let's move on. I want to teach you some more techniques for recall. I'm stopping the share. I want to go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay. This. Hang in there, guys, with me. I'm moving a little slow on this. Okay. Okay. Slideshow. Doesn't matter, just press. Okay. Is it big? There you go. That's fine. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, we are up to this. So I told you what's included. I told you what's included. I told you the sale price, and I told you the testimonials. Now, we have some people on here probably. We have some people on this call that have done membership. So I'm sorry that the raffle prize is only for people that are new members. Is there anyone on this call that wants to unmute themselves that did a membership and just wants to give a live testimonial? Anyone on here? I actually can't see you all at once because there's so many people on, which is so exciting for me. Anyone on here that did a membership and wants to give a live testimonial for 10 seconds? No, no one wants to talk. Okay, you want me to do all the talking here. That's fine. We'll do that. Okay. Next slide. Okay, what memory triggers can we use? What memory triggers can we use to help our memories? So what is a memory trigger? A memory trigger is something that we can use that's going to help us come up with that memory that we're trying to recall, whether it's a name, a word that's on the tip of our tongue. So memory triggers. Okay. The memory triggers, sensory triggers. For those of you that have heard my tease and my talk about senses, you know that we use our senses to encode the memory properly in the first place. Now we're going to actually use our senses to bring back the memories as well. Our senses are very powerful. Our senses are seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. And when we use our senses, it stimulates our brain. We also know that our senses are very powerful in terms of compensating, right? We know people that are blind and their other senses are so strong because the brain compensates. Those senses compensate. So what memory triggers can we use? Sensory triggers. So the sensory triggers are, for example, sights, things we're looking at. It could be photographs. It could be, think of an image in your head that brings back a certain memory, like a strong image in your head that brings back a certain memory. It could be maybe a movie you watched that just stayed there because it was such a strong, it hit you in such a strong sensory place visually. Or a smell. Our smell is very closely associated with memory. Smell and memory is very closely associated. So if I say baby powder, I bet you have a memory associated with that. It might be a memory of a very cute little baby and powdering, it's, a cute little baby's toes being powdered. And that's triggering a memory, right? And we might have negative association with certain smells, God forbid, fire, or our sense of smell and sight and hearing all trigger our memory. And we can use that to remember things from the past that we're trying to remember. So for example, let's say I'm trying to remember what song I walked out to at my wedding. Let's just say, what would I do? I would close my eyes and I would go back there, right? I would go back there and I would hear the song. I would, if I was focused on it at the time, I would hear the song that they're playing and it might come to me. If I really put myself back there and I imagine them playing that tune and I imagine myself walking down the aisle, that is going to bring up probably a very emotional memory for me, right? So we're using our senses to trigger our memory for past events. So it's smells, positive or negative. It's sight. It's feelings, our emotions, right? The amygdala in our brain is very related to emotion and memory. So we can use that. We can harness the power of memory triggers. So sensory triggers. So sensory activity triggers. What are activity triggers? A hike. If I say, remember back in 1945 when we hiked the Grand Canyon? You can take yourself back there. Again, with your senses, you're gonna smell, see. Now, you might remember feeling totally exhausted. That's how I would feel from a hike. That's what I would remember, feeling totally exhausted from the hike. But maybe you enjoyed it. Maybe that hike was the most beautiful hike you've ever done. So although that was a long time ago, if we can trigger it through our senses and through the activity of hiking or who you were with, the people you were with, these are all the contextual clues you're using to help trigger your memory. So it's our senses, it's our activity. The activity might also be a hug, a pat on the back. Someone, if you're trying to remember something and or someone's name and you remember, oh, they gave me such a good hug, or they're so warm, they gave me a warm hug, a warm handshake. That's going to help trigger the memory of who they are and where you know them from. Okay, so that's also a sensory and activity trigger. This is interesting, something about gum. This is so interesting. Gum, I guess, would be like a tactile trigger, right? Chewing gum. So they say that people that chew gum while studying for a test, if they then chew gum while taking the test, it triggers. It's a sensory trigger. Isn't that cool? So if they chew gum while studying for the test and then they go take the test and chew gum, it helps them remember the information. I think that's so interesting. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes to make sure I am telling you everything. Oh, the same thing with the place. If you studied in a certain place and then you take the test in that place, that location also helps trigger your memory. These are two very good tricks for students, for younger students. You can share this with your children and grandchildren. So it's not always possible to take the test where you studied for the test, but sometimes it is. Okay. Okay, color triggers. Why is a stop sign red? You don't even have to see the word stop. When you see a stop sign, you step on the brakes. Why? It triggers your memory. It triggers your senses. Red is an attractive color, right? So when you see red, you stop. There's a strong association between color and memory. You will remember a colorful scene much faster than a black and white scene. Color triggers your memory. So if you're trying to remember something, let's say you're in Old Palm or you're trying to learn any language and you're having a hard time with certain words, guess what? Write them in color, type them in color, look at them in color. See if that helps triggers your memory. Pictures, when you look at a picture in color, you're gonna remember much better than if it's black and white. So we can use sensory, activity, color triggers to help bring up things from the past, and they're strong. There's certain, our smells, our sounds, our senses are strong for certain memories. We just have to tap into them without tapping into those memory triggers. Okay, next slide. Okay, so how are we going to dig up some old memories? So I love these pictures of photographs and the people sitting and looking at photos. Photographs. When you look at your old photos, you reminisce. You might remember things that you haven't looked at or thought about or remembered in a long time. Now, don't just look at the photo, turn it over and look at the date. Oh, wow, we did that in that year. The date will help also bring back more details for you. Be curious. When you're looking at photos, be curious. Be like a kid saying, where was it? When was it? Who were we with? Ask yourself questions to trigger those old past memories. Okay, so be curious about your memories. Imagine you're there. So you're looking at photos and you're remembering that trip to the Grand Canyon, or you're remembering that wedding you went to, or your oldest grandchild's bar mitzvah. And you look at the pictures and imagine that you are there. Be curious. Number 2, relatives. Talk to relatives. Socializing. Activate the social connections to remember. First of all, in general, socializing with people is good for your brain. Okay, if you didn't know that, I'm telling you now, people that stay socially active live longer, happier lives. That's what the research shows. So to dig up old memories, ask your relatives, call your sister, your aunt, your children and say, what year did we do so-and-so trip? Or which sukkah did we have that family over? And they can help you dig up some of those old memories. Places, go to the library. I know libraries are a little extinct these days. That's like old time library. Who goes to a library anymore? But anyway, libraries, used bookstores, newspapers. You look at a newspaper from a long time ago, and you're gonna reminisce. You're gonna be able to dig up old memories, things that you didn't even know were still in there. So places that you've been, visit the places from your past. So I always tell people, if they can, this isn't always possible, if they can, go back to your childhood home. It'll bring up so many memories for you, memories that, hopefully positive memories, but maybe some negative ones. By the way, if you do any of this and it brings up some negative or hard memories, I encourage you to get the support from either relatives, family, relatives and family, a spouse, your children, or a therapist. Get the support you need if it brings up some hard emotions for you. Because sometimes reminiscence brings up stuff from the past that we haven't thought about and we didn't realize we're still there. And sometimes it can be negative or traumatic even. So, for example, let's say like a car accident. Sometimes some of us have had car accidents that were pretty traumatic. We don't really want to think about it, but sometimes we do think that will trigger those old memories. So if that happens, let yourself go through it, feel the feelings, and get the support you need to work through some of those old memories. Because sometimes memories come up that we don't realize. There's unconscious memories also that sometimes come up when we start digging. Memorabilia. Memorabilia could be awards, trophies, newspaper clippings. A lot of us have either basements or attics with boxes of this stuff, right? From years and years. I mentioned before going back to your childhood home. So I don't know if that's possible for a lot of people. Maybe those homes have been sold and they're not possible. But going back to your childhood home could bring up some really special and amazing memories. Like sort of like we call it a trip down memory lane, right? So you want to dig through memorabilia. So it could be awards, trophies, newspaper clippings, or fun activities with the family. And this is a fun activity for the family. You can have your grandchildren over and go through the photos and the clippings and memorabilia and talk about it. When you talk about it, guess what it does? It puts it right there in the forefront of your memory. That's what recall is. Recall is bringing it from long-term memory up to working memory. So when you go through those photos and you explain to your kids, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, what you did and where you did what, that is such a fun activity for them. They love it. And memory timeline. This is interesting. Make a memory timeline. So you sort of like take a piece of paper, and it might be a long piece of paper. You might need a notebook for this. And you sort of go through your life. You can start from whenever you want. And let's say you start, say, 1940 or 1950. You sort of plot, just let your mind remember any important things that come up. So let's say I remember any big events that happened, birthdays, deaths, marriages, divorces, the big numbers. So make a timeline of your life and just plot out the important things. it's going to help you dig up some of those old memories. And you might be like, oh, I didn't even know that. I remember that in 1975, this and this and this happened. Okay. So make a timeline of your memory. This is also great to tell others about. Say, you know what? I just remember that in 1955, we did this and this on that day. Or, you know, if I say September 11th, we pretty much all have a memory of where we were then. And if you don't have a memory, I bet you if you close your eyes and go back and imagine it, go back or look at pictures, you'll have a memory will come to you. But like that would be something on your memory timeline. So your memory timeline is like the big things in your life. And every time you go back to that memory timeline, you can add in memories that come up for you. Wait, I'm going to take questions afterwards, okay? I see someone put a question. I'm going to take the questions afterwards, okay? I'm almost done here. That's the memory timeline. Make a memory timeline. Keep going back to it. Keep adding in things that come up for you and things that you remember. When you start doing this, you're going to see that you remember more and more and more. Okay. And you can share that timeline with others that you want to. This is a great quote from Bruce Lee. The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. I love that. The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. I also, I'm going to take questions and do the raffles in a minute. Before I do that, I want to make a shout out to all the caregivers on here. There are probably people on here that are currently or in the past caring for people with serious memory loss, with dementia. It might be a spouse, it might be a parent, it might have been a grandparent. I know a lot of you are caregivers or have been caregivers. I just want to give a virtual hug and a virtual clap and sending my love to all those who are working so hard to care for their loved ones with dementia. And this is part of the reason that I do what I'm doing. I want to help people that are caring for people with dementia to not have that fear that they'll be like that. I talk about this in my courses all the time. Talk about giving people the confidence to believe in their memory. One of my favorite quotes, some of you have heard this from me before, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you are right. So if you believe you can remember my name and the name of everyone sitting in this Zoom, you can. You might need some techniques that I could teach you, but you can. But if you believe that you absolutely, there's no way that you can remember it, then guess what? You can't. So when you meet someone new and you walk away and say, I can't remember her name, you're not even going to try, right? So therefore, there is no chance that you're going to remember because you don't believe you can. But when you meet someone new and you say, I'm going to make the intention to remember this person and I'm going to give it the attention to remember it, guess what? You can. And with my techniques, and again, the techniques for names are not in remembership. I'm just mentioning it because it really comes to play with confidence. It's how confident are we in our ability to remember? So, you know, people say, oh, REna, you have a good memory. You know, I have a good memory because I try, because I believe that I can do it. When I learn someone's name, I know for sure I can remember their name. I just have to apply my techniques to it. So whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you are right. So I just wanted to give that shout out to the caregivers that I know are working so hard day and night, taking care of their loved ones with dementia. And I just want to applaud you and send you all of our love. Before we do the raffles, I just want you to have my website and my email. If you have questions and I don't get to answer all of them, I'm going to try to get to the questions now, but if I don't get to all of them, email me a question. I really try to answer all my emails personally. You can go to my website. The membership is on my website. You can poke around my website for other stuff. If somehow you're on this call and I do not have your email address, i.e. you didn't get emails from me, please, from REnaTukovsky.com, you can go there and join my email list and you'll start getting emails from me. Now, I want to take questions, but while I take questions, and then we're going to do the raffles. While I take questions, if anyone's interested in buying a membership, now's your chance. Go to REnaTukovsky.com/membership and click on any of the buttons that say, yes, I want to improve my memory, and just put in your payment details. You can buy a membership, you'll get automatically. And we will be doing the raffles in just a couple minutes. I'm sorry, I think we're going to run over. That's because we took a few minutes at the beginning since some tech issues. So what I want to do now is take questions. Let me look at the chat. Okay. So how are we going to do that? So just go into here and do facebook.com and go to my group. Okay. And just mute it. Okay. I'm going to take questions from the chat now. You can't see it. Let's refresh it. Guys, give me 1 sec to work on the chat. We want to make sure that everyone in, just want to see the comments in Facebook and see how many people are watching in Facebook. Give me 1 sec. It should, here it is. Okay, it's X. Oh, good. We have 4 people watching, and just check the comments here. Tell me if there are any questions, okay? Oh, and I have to do the assessment thing. Okay. One more thing. I told you there's one more raffle we're going to draw. I have to tell you how to win it. So this is an easy one. Anyone that's interested in a memory assessment, that's a private one-on-one memory assessment with me with $150. I want you to type into the chat now assessment with your name. Make sure it has your name. Whether you're on Facebook or Zoom, type into the chat the word assessment or memory assessment. And we're going to take all those names and we're going to put them in a raffle. And one person who types assessment is going to win a private memory coaching session with me. So we're going to do those 2 raffles after I answer the question. So we're giving everyone a chance to type in assessment or to go buy a membership now. And then we're going to do those two raffles. And I'm going to take questions in the meantime. Let me just, wait, how do I go up here? Yeah, okay. I'm going to go through the chat now. A second. What's the easiest way to do this? Just like this. Yeah, just wondering if there's any more content or is all this advertisement. Just wanted to know if I should stay on. Yeah, you definitely should stay on. I hope you figured out by now you should stay on. What's the importance of making, okay, what's the importance of making a memory timeline? The importance of making a memory timeline is that it helps you reminisce and dig up memories. So you are actually stimulating your memory to work for you. So it's going back and saying, wherever you want to start from, 1940, 1950, 1960, and plotting a timeline with all the important things that you can remember. And every time you go back to that, you're going to remember more and more. So you're stimulating your memory, you're triggering your memory for important things. And I think you'll be amazed at what you can remember. And each time you go back, you might remember events, you might remember people, you might remember happy times, sad times, and it's fun. First of all, you're stimulating your memory. Second of all, you're taking note, you're bringing it to the forefront. And also you can share it with other people in your family that might be interested in hearing some of that reminiscence. Okay, I hope that answers the question. A second. Okay, great. We have a lot of assessments here. A second, is there more? Is that it? Hold on. Okay. So, if there are any other questions, I actually will take live questions now. If you have a question that you didn't type in the chat or that I didn't answer, you can unmute yourself and ask me a question if you'd like. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see more of you. Okay. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask live? Any live questions? No? Okay, did I get all the questions in the chat? I think I did. So guess what time it is? Who wants to know who won? So how many people bought memberships? Do we have an answer? I have someone here helping me because I can't do all this at once. Again, this is your chance to ask questions and to buy a membership and to type assessment for the chance to win the assessment. Now, if you're wondering how we're doing this raffle, it's actually really cool. There's a site called wheelofnames.com. You can go in there and you can actually put in the names, and then it spins the wheel and picks a winner. It's really cool. So let's do first the membership. From the people, you have all the people who bought membership? No? Okay, we need another second. Any other questions? Okay, so we're going to give her 1 more minute to figure out all the assessments and membership people. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to practice this. I want everyone to close your eyes. Close your eyes for 1 second. And in the last day, 2 or 3, did you have a minute where you couldn't recall something important? A name, a number, a fact, a list, a word? Did you have a senior moment in the last day, 2 or 3, where you could not remember something that you wanted to? Let's assume, I'm going to just pretend it was a name. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to use memory triggers. Everything we talked about today, anything and everything we talked about today, the sensory triggers, the memory triggers, the alphabet search, contextual cues, looking for contextual cues. Use any and all of what I said today. Take a few deep breaths. Put yourself back to where you met that person, what they were wearing, what you were wearing, if it's a person. If it's a word, also think about any contextual cues that are going to help you come up with it. I'm going to be quiet for 10 seconds. You could try to recall what you couldn't recall in the past day or two. We're going to try and see if any of this works. Deep breath, and let's try to recall. Okay. Did it come to you? What you were trying to recall, did it come to you? If not, you'll try it for a little longer later on. Another question. What do I say when my mother, 98-year-old mother, incorrectly? What do I say when my mother, 98 years old, mother incorrect? Sorry, I don't understand the question. If your mother's saying something that's not correct, should you correct her? Is that the question? Remembers incorrectly. Okay, got it. So your mother's 98 is telling you that something happened on April 24th, 1975, and it really happened on April 28th, 1975. Something more important than that. Rachel, unmute yourself so I could hear you. She's unmuted? So why can't I hear her? Can you talk louder, Rachel? Okay, you're muted. Rachel, you're muted now. Sorry, unmute yourself. Why can't I hear her? She is talking. Can you guys, there you go. Now, Rachel, I can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, I cannot hear you. Type the question into the chat. Sorry, I can't hear you. Type the question into the chat. I don't know why. Can anyone else hear Rachel? No. Okay, so it's not just me. I hope this was not annoying to see me on two computers, one with a background and one without a background. Sorry about that. Okay, Rachel. Okay, the doctor said A and she remembers B. Okay, that's a little more important than a date from 1975, right? Okay. So the doctor, let's say, said take one pill and she's saying I need to take two pills or vice versa. Okay. So if it is something important that could, God forbid, danger her health, then we have to figure out what to do. If it's anything else, let it go. So what? So she remembers it differently. Wrong. Who cares? If it's something that is not important to her health or not dangerous to anyone, it doesn't matter. Even if it bothers you that she's remembering it correctly, it doesn't matter. But if it's something that's like has relevance to her health, let's say like for the pill, let's just say a pill where the doctor said, you can't do that. And she's saying, I can do that, right? Because that does happen. So that is a very delicate situation because she's 98 and you're her daughter and we need to be very, very careful and respectful, right? You don't want to criticize or negate or, right? Or say, that's not right, you're wrong, right? We don't want to do that. We need to always be treated with respect. So you need to find a way, either have the doctor email something and she can read it in an email, have the doctor call the nurse and say, oh, Mom, maybe you should just double check that with the nurse. Call the nurse, let the nurse be the one to say, oh, Mrs. So-and-so, you need to take one pill, not two. Like always try to find someone external to correct her rather than you, if it's possible. If it's not possible and it's like 12 o'clock at night and she thinks she needs to take the pill that she's not supposed to take, to say, Mom, I'm concerned. I recall the doctor saying it this way. I'm really concerned that this could be dangerous for you. Very respectful, totally out of concern, not out of your ego or what you remembered, not because she didn't remember, but because you know, I'm really concerned about your health. I would love to try it this. Would you be willing to try it this way? Very respectful. Or even just saying, it could be you're right. Let's check with the doctor tomorrow morning. But for now, let's just take one pill. Okay, very, very not about you, not about your ego, not about you remembering it right and she's wrong. Okay. Always take yourself out of it and make sure that you're there for her and for what's good for her. Okay. Yeah, but there are definitely some very sensitive, tricky situations there with that. especially if we're dealing with someone with dementia. Then we have to be really careful not to try to convince them of things, because you don't want to fight. We're not here to fight with anyone with dementia. Caring for loved ones with dementia is really a whole nother thing. I actually have a lot of experience with that, but that I wish I could do a whole webinar on that, just not this. But Rachel, I'm happy to help you more. If that wasn't clear, that didn't help you enough, email me and we can have an email conversation. Okay. Okay, were there any other questions here? Right, at 3 a.m. she thinks it's the morning and wants to get out of bed. No problem, let her get out of bed. Who cares? Who cares? Let her walk around, unless it's dangerous. Is it dangerous for her to get out of bed? Let her get out and go sit on the sofa. Who cares? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Who cares? Unless it's dangerous, she gets to get up whenever she wants. She's 98. Unless it's dangerous. I mean, the other option is, I'm assuming that this is very difficult for the caregiver. So then that's a different conversation. It's, well, then can we bring in more help in the middle of the night if she's not sleeping at night? Can we give her something that could help her sleep better? There's all sorts of factors here. But in general, if she wants to get up at 3, whatever makes her happy. That's not a safety or health issue, in my opinion. If it's a caregiver issue, I'm happy to talk to you about that and give you some ideas for that. She's not allowed to get out of bed by herself. She's in a wheelchair. Okay, so it's dangerous for her to get out of bed. So then there's all sorts of things like sensors. There's sensors like on the wall. In the nursing homes, they have this. So when someone gets out of bed, it rings an alarm so that you know to go help them. Something like that. I've got everything. Yeah, so that's a tricky one. That's a caregiver issue about not getting out of bed. Someone might have to sleep in the room with her and just say, oh, let me get you a warm cup of tea and let's go back to sleep. Get her a warm cup of tea and let her go back to sleep. You're rolling your eyes. You don't want to get up in the middle of the night. Right, I know, I got it. These are caregiver issues. We need to talk this out some more, okay? Be in touch with me. You can email me, we can chat. I can try to help you. It also depends on whether she has dementia or not. If we're dealing with dementia, you have to be much more creative than if we're not dealing with dementia. So really, there's a lot of factors that go into it. So I'm happy to help you with that one-on-one. Okay, are we ready to pull the raffles here?
Yeah.
Amazing. Remembership. How many people bought membership? Okay, amazing. So we're just doing the wheel to pick the winner. Oh, and the winner is Rachel Lerner. Rachel Lerner, thank you for, how appropriate is that? First of all, thank you for buying a membership. Thank you. You are gonna get a one-on-one coaching session with me, which it sounds like might be helpful to you. And it's for free. So you just want a free coaching session. So I'm really excited to see you on the membership coaching calls, and thank you for buying a membership. And thank you to everyone else who bought a membership. I look forward to seeing you all on the coaching calls. The coaching calls, the group coaching calls will be listed in your membership emails. That's how you'll know when they are. Rachel just want a private coaching call though. Okay, assessment. So the people who put in their assessment are interested in memory assessment. One person's gonna win a one-on-one memory assessment with me worth $150. Okay, amazing. Thank you, Tehila. Tehila's the best tech assistant. Someone by the name of Yudis, Y-U-D-I-S. Yudis, and I'm not sure who that is, but Yudis, Y-U-D-I-S. Yeah, I see her. I don't see her face because it's her video's not on. Yudis just won a. Oh, there you go. She turned it on. Hi, Yudis. Where are you from?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore. Yay! I'm originally from Baltimore. So Yudis, you just won a free memory assessment with me with $150. I want to thank you all for participating. Yudis, make sure I will get in touch with you, but if I don't, make sure you email me. But I'm pretty sure I have your email. If you don't hear from me within the next couple hours, make sure you email me so we can set up a memory assessment. And Rachel Lerner, we will set up a personal coaching session. You were an amazing audience here. Thank you so much. And I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, send me an email. If you're watching in the Facebook group, please comment if this was helpful to you and how it was helpful to you. And also, I'm going to be sending out the replay of this to anyone who registered and anyone who got the emails that said we're going live in 24 hours, an hour. or we're live, there was a sequence of emails that went out to anyone that registered. If you got those emails, you're getting them, like, God willing, tonight in a couple hours. When I upload this to YouTube channel, we're gonna stick it in an email and send it to you. So you can share this with other people. If you know anyone that Remembership might be helpful to, please share the link, renayukowski.com/remembership. Share it with them so that people could join. It's a no-brainer, pun intended. It's cheap, it's valuable, it's helpful. And I know that because I believe in my product, because I've seen the testimonials, I've seen the dozens of people that have gone through it this year, and they love the program. So I am super thankful to all of you that have been here tonight. Are there any last questions? No, just thank you. Okay. And Yunus and Rachel, we will talk privately. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a good night, a good day, wherever you are. Good day, good night for us here in Israel. And I wish you all good health and good memory. And you should stay, and my blessing to you should stay sharp for many, many years to come.
Amen.
Okay. Thank you. Take good care.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.